and he flies down, he's already down and you fly down, just hit a few notes and he gobbles. Best thing for you to do is take your call, put the lid back on your little old case right there and throw them about 10 yards over there, and you'll kill a lot of turkeys that way because you got him coming to you. And as long as that turkey's coming to you, don't never call no more. If you hear that turkey gobble, just like if I walk in the woods and an owl hoot, and listen to another one, and then it may be one over here, just really just charming in there, gobbling 4 or 5 times. And so you got 3 turkeys gobbling. Which one do you go hunt? Well, I'm going to go hunt the one that sounds like he's the most desperate. That he's saying to hens, hey, here I am over here. Come over here. Come over here. And most of the time, if you get to hunting one that's really vocal a lot, really gobbling a lot, that's the one that's, he's looking for a hen. He's wanting to, and, but you learn a lot of things like that. Just like I'm going to illustrate basically a little hunt. And what I'm doing is basically learning to read a turkey. And what I mean is, we'll check his, what we call, Alex Rutledge, we talk about check his temperature. And the reason I say that, now if you call to an old turkey that's, and he don't answer you, and all at once, he gobbles. Well, that turkey is telling you he ain't that fired up about you. Hey, I'm over here and I'm available, but, chances are he probably ain't coming because he probably knows HS Strut, Primos, Lynch, and all that. He's already heard them all. If he ain't cut you off, and that's what I'm talking about, learning to read that turkey. Now, if that turkey, if you start calling to him, and he gobbles at you before you get through calling, that turkey's ready right there. He's telling you he's very killable. He's really telling you, hey, I want to ride in your truck. That's what he wants to do. And, so when I find a turkey that cuts me off like that, a lot of times, here's the key right here too, is learning when to call. And I've learned that over years, and why you need to call and what you need to be saying to him. Well, a lot of times when that turkey cuts me off like that, then what I do is, and I want you to think about, if you're a turkey hunter, for the first, when you go in and you set up on a turkey and he's out there 150 or 200 yards, and the first time you call to him and he cuts you off as a turkey hunter, boy, that makes you feel so good. Man, he likes me. It gets you fired up. And so what I like to recommend actually is let a turkey gobble. And when he gobbles, I like to reverse that role. Like I was telling you, it made me feel good. Well, now I want to make him feel good. I want to get in his head. So what I'm doing, I may call the first time. If he cuts me off, like I was telling you, I will not call to him anymore until he gobbles. And then when he gobbles, the first thing he hears is me calling back to him. All right, well, if you think about it, you get in that gobbler's head right there, because you answering him. But here's where the guys mess up as a beginner turkey hunter. They want to get out there, and old turkeys, they want to hammer that turkey and that turkey. You got him gobbling so much while he's still up in a tree. That's where we mess up at as a turkey hunter. We call too aggressive while that turkey's in the tree. Let that turkey pitch out, and then you pick up your aggressive. You want to start really getting a more aggressive to him and make him forget what's going on right there. And old turkey right there, every now and then you call to him like that. He has to pick his wing up, wipe the sweat off his head. He's waiting for that hen to come see him. He knows she's going to be there at any minute now. So many times they sit there to 9 or 10 o'clock, where if you hadn't called so aggressive, then he pitches out. But what I like to do, let's go back right quick, is I actually like to tree call to one just a little bit. And that's not doing a whole lot of calling. That's just I like to really use a friction call, something real light. And I don't get no aggressive to that, but that's what I do. That's the first call I use. And I might use that call 20 to 30 times or 40 times. I'm sitting there waiting on him to gobble at a crow or an owl. Before he gets through calling, before he gets through gobbling, I'm calling for him to hear that. That's all I do. I don't do no cackles. I don't do any cutting. I wait for him to pitch out. And guys, if you'll wait for him to pitch out and you start picking up, one thing I like to do is when he pitches out right there, is when he hits the ground. I'm kind of taking y'all on the turkey hunt. I don't know if y'all know that right now, but that's what I'm doing. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a little mouth call in there because I can tree call with that mouth call a little bit more aggressive, and I can talk with it. And I'm just gonna take you on that hunt. And I'm sitting up there waiting on that old turkey to gobble. When he gobbles, I'm just hitting him real light, or you take that friction call, and what I like to do on that friction call is to palm it. I like to don't let the sound chambers come out. I like to palm it in my hand and call real quiet on it. But I hear that turkey fly down, and this is very important, guys. I don't do nothing but tree call to him and let him fly down. When I know, and sometimes you can't tell, but most of the time you can tell the sound he's on the ground now. You can tell it's quieting up and it ain't as loud as it was in the tree. Well, I like to let him know that I'm on the ground. I'd like to let that turkey know I'm on the ground. And a lot of times I'll do a little cackling. And I hit a few quick notes like that. But I didn't cackle a long series of time. A lot of guys, they've watched too much TV, they've watched too much YouTube, and they'll get out there. A turkey will do that a lot of times. She flies down, especially if she's flying a long distance. If she's flying out in the field or clear cut. But in the woods most of the time, unless she hits a road or whatever, she just and she sits down right there. And if you do that, that lets that gobbler know that hen is just right there. If you do that long drawed off cackle, you just told that hen you flew about a half a mile over there. You gone. And a lot of times that he won't come on in there. But if you do that cackle and he flies down, he's already down and you fly down, just hit a few notes and he gobbles. Best thing for you to do is take your call, put the lid back on your little old case right there and throw them about 10 yards over there, and you'll kill a lot of turkeys that way because you got him coming to you. And as long as that turkey's coming to you, don't never call no more. See, all I done right now is just tree call to that turkey, and I done that little bitty a little bitty fly down. That's the only 2 calls I used on that turkey. And a lot of times that's all it takes. I kill that turkey. I know one morning I was hunting with Toxie Hayes and Cuz Strickland nowhere, and I had cackled to a turkey on the roost right there and tree called. Cuz, I'm gonna let you, call to him. And all I done was tree call, and I seen that old turkey. It was one of them pretty Mississippi bottoms though, and I could see that turkey coming. Well, about that time, I shut up and didn't call him more because he was coming. Cuz breaks out that tube call and went to calling, and that turkey stopped in his track over there and didn't come anymore. And and I asked him, I said, man, why did you call for that turkey for? If you'd have shut up, he'd have come up here and we'd have killed him. And that turkey sat there and didn't never budge a lick. And he stayed there waiting on that hen to come him. And that's what happens a lot of times. The guys call too much when the turkey's coming on in there. Now, there's other things to do if that turkey hangs up out there, and we'll talk about them if y'all want to a little later on. And but right now I'm just using 2 calls, and I've killed a lot of turkeys with just that 2 calls.
Yeah, one thing about calling too much at turkeys, I'm not a great turkey hunter by any means.
Yeah.
I'm mediocre at best. But when I started limiting my calling a lot more is when I actually started consistently killing turkeys.
Yeah.
And like that, for instance, a scenario I wanted to run by you is like a couple years, this happened a couple times, but most recently I had a bird where it was pitch black dark and he gobbled on the roost, and he's on the next ridge point over from me. And I mean, pitch black dark, just gobbled at nothing. I was like, okay. And he gobbled 100 more times before it got to be daylight. He's gobbling up in the tree.
In the daylight.
Yeah.
Like, I mean in the dark.
In the dark, gobbling in the dark. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I can barely contain myself.
Yeah.
And so it gets to be daylight. I wait, I don't say anything. I wait for him to pitch down. He hits the ground. He gobbles twice on the ground. I'm like, okay, he's definitely on the ground. I yelp like 4 times. And he had gobbled at every single thing that morning. Crows, a school bus, nothing. I yelped 4 times, and he doesn't do anything. And I just put the call down, and 10 minutes later, I killed him, and he came walking in. So in situations like that, how do you like where he did not respond to me?
Yeah.
But I kind of had a feeling just because he was so hot, he might be coming in. How do you read a turkey? How do you read a situation and know when to stop calling?
Well, that's just that's just an instinct. You got to learn the more you do it. But I think a lot of times the least amount you can call, and especially, let me say this too. Now, if he got competition and the hen's really, he's henned up over there, I think you need to be real aggressive on calling that way, and that you learn to run multiple calls and change it up a little bit. And it kind of breaks your heart when you call one don't answer you. But just because he don't answer you, don't mean he ain't coming. And I'm gonna tell you, 9 times out of 10, now this is I found out to be true. A turkey's gonna fly down away from you, and it won't be but in just a few minutes he's gonna be breaking and coming back to you. I don't know why he flies down away. I don't know if he tries to get you to get up, and move or whatever. He's just trying to figure out things, but they'll fly. I don't know if he does that in the wild to the hens or what, but he normally will fly down, and then it won't be but a little bit. He'll be back up under the tree, coming right back at you. And so don't let it worry you as a turkey hunter just because he don't answer you. Of course, we like for him to cut us off and, to answer us when we call to him. But patience like that, I think, let me say this, and I think the thing when I learned to read one is when I call to him, and if he don't say nothing, I don't hardly ever call to him no more. I'm going to wait and let him gobble again and see what he's doing, what directions he's headed in. And if he's headed in my direction, I'm through with calling. And, and you call 4 or 5 times and shut up. Where if you'd have kept calling, you may have stopped him out there, but you shut up and he come on in there. So, maybe it was accidentally that you shut up, but, you didn't know. But, a lot of times that could be the advantage is not to call too aggressive, to just unfold it, let it unfold the hunt, let it and see what he does. If he ain't, if he's taking his time, then gobbling, and then it's time to do something else.
Yeah, that's what always messed me up is like you just want to force it. You want
right.
him to walk in so bad.
Oh yeah,
you're just like you're kind of begging to him, like you were saying earlier. You're like, please come over here.
That's right.